What's going on, guys? Long time no speak. I thought I might do a little video update on NASDAQ today, or rather ES. S&P 500 futures. Um, Today was bullish, as expected. I was watching in this area today, so we had a daily opening over here. So I drew out the daily opening price, right? So we can know where the Judas swing is forming. So this is our time frame we want to be trading in. We wait for 8:30, right? So we can spot our model. So 8:30 is over here. Let me put a line in it. Equity open at 9:30, right? So the volatility really kicks in at that point. I outlined these lines you're seeing right now. I outlined those for the group. Reason being, we had multiple things that could happen. When watching price action like this, you're in a consolidation, right? So what is most likely to happen in a consolidation? Are we gonna expand up and then just write off? No, we're gonna take liquidity on all sides, right? So the first thing I noticed was this clean liquidity up here, right? So the buy side liquidity, right? So that was a target instantly for me. So my first scenario, let me remove this one. First scenario I outlined for the group was we had this 15-minute fair value gap down here. Let me do this one in it. Right, so at first this was my point of interest for us to go higher. Now you can see it took this sell side liquidity. Now we're gonna use SMT in this occasion, so smart money tool or smart money technique, however you want to call it, right? So we're gonna compare the indices. Whoops, this is actually SMT. But we're gonna compare ES to NQ. So NASDAQ is gonna be our reference point. So if I go to NASDAQ right now, let me remove this. Right, so NASDAQ went into the same fair value gap. Now this is SMT, and why is that? Because we did not take the low on NASDAQ. So on NASDAQ, we stayed within this range. We hit that 15-minute fair value gap, and then we shut up, and then went in to fill this fair value gap on the 15-minute. And that was actually an area I was looking for a sell, because the thing is we had SMT, right? So this sell side was still intact in my opinion. Then we had the same buy side liquidity as on ES. We rated it, and then I was looking for lower prices. So I was looking on the 1 minute over here and did not give me an entry, unfortunately. So we broke structure down here, and then it never came back into a fair value gap. And at that point, I just let it run down. It took the sell side liquidity at this point. Now, where did it bounce off from, right? So we have to keep in mind order flow is still bullish, right? So let's go to the daily time frame on ES. We bounced from this small daily fair value gap, right? We had this massive impulsive candle. So you're seeing smart money is showing their hand, right? So with that massive push up, I was not expecting a sell day today. Rather filling up the rest of this daily fair value gap, which has happened pretty nicely. I did not participate in the markets today. I was not really feeling it. Gotta be honest. If I don't feel it, I stay out because I will make mistakes. So same situation. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Right. So at this point in time, it ran up higher after that SMT was created. And then we have, this is previous daily high. So we were still expecting previous daily high to get rated, right? Now price just stopped just before previous daily high. So what are we leaving behind over here? Buy side liquidity, right? So with equity open, we ran up just left this buy side liquidity intact, and then it starts to trade down. Now where is it going for, right? It's going for those lows created earlier. So this was SMT, but it's also equal lows, right? So relative equal lows. It's still a target. So if you see this staying intact and the overall premise is we should trade bullish, now we should wait for this sell side liquidity to get rated, and then we'll wait for a break of structure on a lower time frame, and then we can capitalize on trading upwards, right? So if we go to the 1 minute time frame, right? So we're targeting this highs, right? Because that's almost relatively equal with previous daily high. Now what is happening over here, right? We need to wait for a break of structure. So where does break of structure happen, right? It almost looks like it, but this is not significant, right? It's only like a few points. It trades down one more time, and actually you can see here we have these little targets up here. So this is a one clue we want to run up, right? And then we're breaking up further, and then this is, in my opinion, the most recent and most significant swing low, or swing high rather, right? So over here we can put our little thingy, our light bulb. So this is a break of structure. Where are we going to get in, right? So the nearest fair value gap where you can get in, which should also be relatively close to equilibrium, so that's the midway point. So if we take this range we're in, I think it's just barely off. Yes, it's all just barely off. So I would have missed it on ES, but that's why we're going to look at NASDAQ, which was cleaner, right? So we're waiting on the same thing on NASDAQ, right? So let's go over here. All right. Same occasion, we're waiting for sell side to get rated, which got rated over here. Then we wait for a break of structure. Let me zoom in a little bit, right? So this structural high got broken. What are we leaving behind over here, right? Relative equal high. So this is the easiest target you will ever need. If you see equal highs or equal lows, you should be looking at it with a hawk eye, straight up. This is what we want to see, right? We want to target those highs and lows, as equal highs and equal lows. Now what are we waiting for? We waited for a break of structure, right? There was displacement after the low got rated, right? So this is another indication. It shows willingness to go bullish. And now let's take our fib, right? I can even draw it out here. And then everything below the 0.5 is in discount, right? So we want to be a buyer in discount and a seller in premium. So price dips into the fair value gap. You could have gone long straight up over here. You could place your stop loss like over here, but the safest bet is just to put it below the low, and don't be greedy with the stop loss. But technically you can put it just below this other fair value gap, and then we have this last up close or down close candle. It should not exceed the midway point, so I would likely put the stop loss like this, and then you're gonna ride it up all the way to previous daily high, right? Just like on ES, and this should be like a pretty good RR. So if we measure it right now, right, that's a 10R, and if you take a conservative stop, this is like a 6.7R. So still very massive. First partial, where would you take a partial? That's also a question, right? Where would you take a partial if you got that kind of entry? I would take a partial when I hit this last swing low over here, which got broken. So we have a breaker over here. So that's a good point for a take partial or take profit or partial, right? And then another partial up here, and then full close up here. So yeah, this was a pretty clean movement. I did not participate in it, but I just wanted to show you this little breakdown of NASDAQ today. Looked pretty clean. I'm gonna focus more on indices. I'm still pretty new to indices. I like how they move. Forex is pretty hard at the moment, I'm not gonna lie. Leaving a lot of buy side and sell side liquidity, ranging a lot, consolidating. So I'd rather trade indices at this moment. So yeah, I'm gonna focus more on the indices. I probably post some more breakdowns. If you guys like that, let me know in the comments. And yeah, overall this week, all the calls on ES. If I scroll back for the group, all right. So the first call was, let me go to the 4 hour. It's a little bit cleaner. So yeah, the first call that this was the buy area, and then we should target these highs, which happened. Then the next call, let me go to the. We had two occasions. We could have from here went up, take out the buy side liquidity, or dip down into the daily fair value gap, right? Which happened overall. And I don't think I was present during the 26th, so I have no update on here. And then today, obviously, let me go to object tree, right? These scenarios. So either we go into the 50-minute fair value gap, taking out previous daily high. We did do that on NASDAQ, so we had SMT. The other one was dipping down into this, further into this gap, and then bust up, which eventually happened. And overall, I like NASDAQ a little bit more on the lower time frame. So over here. So yeah, pretty clean. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, of course. If you want to join the private Discord, you can also message me on Telegram. And otherwise, I have a free Telegram too, where I post some content, and there's a lot of stuff and education in my free channel. So if you want to check some out, you can go there anyway. So guys, thank you for watching. I'm gonna head off and I will speak to you in the next video.